I always have to do this clear throat thing. So Melissa called me out. She said at church when I go to speak, like in our little class, she's like, I always notice because you're just like, and she says somebody else starts talking, and she's like, oh shoot, Eric's on deck. She's about to talk. Get ready, everybody.
She's placing her own mental
Dude,
bets.
she's like, I'm like, I was rolling. I'm like, you got me.
She knows.
Well.
A man like you with less than 2 minutes with no words is a man that's about to explode.
No, I try to be really methodical because they start reading scripture stuff and it's going through this and like talking through, what you think and stuff. And so I try to really take a step back there. I really do. And just hear everybody's things. But if I feel there is something that could be conveyed methodically that really is more deep than just like chatter, then that's when I will bring attention to the table of what I'm saying.
Yeah. See? 2024, it starts this year. So 2024,
Yep.
The whole question of rolling 529 money into a Roth is coming up. There's a lot of these really stinking, crappy little rules that they put in there. So the rule part of it is one thing, but kind of one of the things I wanted to talk about is like the strategy part of it. Like, well, how does that apply to you? Have you had any clients ask to do one of those?
Oh, tons. Yeah. I've had tons. Like, well, hey, now that we have the 529, will we have this option? Really talking through that and talking through their plan, their strategy.
Yeah.
But what nobody realizes is the government literally just they said, hey, here's what you can do, but they don't realize the ridiculous stuff that came in play.
Yep.
All of the rules.
It's one of those bait and switch things in a way to me because it was like, okay, I could take my 529 money, I could put it in the Roth for the child's Roth, and I could do all of this. And then there, at the very bottom of that legislation, we read through it on our Wine and Wealth class. It was like, but you have to have the 529 for 15 years.
Yeah, that's the first kicker. That's the first kicker. And so anybody who's like, they've got a kid and they're like, hey, my kid's 15, I want to really save to the 529, I can then convert it to Roth. I'm like, yeah, well, you've got 15 years to do this. Or 15 years that the 529 has to be open. That's the first step.
Open, and there has to be at least $1 in there. So that's why a couple of my clients are like, I just had a baby. I'm like, okay, open one, put $1 in there.
Well, here's the other trick, though. So this is what people also aren't realizing. So it first has to be open for at least 15 years before you can convert to Roth. The second part of that is it has to be money that has been contributed 5 years ago. So you can't open a 529 and the kid's 15 years old and say, cool, I'm going to put this money in, and at 18, we're going to start moving money to Roth.
Yep.
Nope, doesn't work that way.
Yep.
And so the government's really played some games on people on this, making them feel like they got something, and really they got nothing.
Well, I tell you, if you're thinking, now that you know this is a rule and everything, if you're thinking about, oh, my child's 2, I can work this out. Don't overfund a 529. I worry about that.
That's exactly what I've been telling people.
Really worry about people going, oh, then I'll just go nuts and my child goes to school or whatever. What if they don't go to school and you end up with $100,000 extra dollars? The part of the rule is no more than $35,000 can be moved to a Roth over their life. Not just like in one shot, but forever. That's a lifetime limit. So it's like, oh, guys, loosen up a little bit.
And so again, kind of going to that, people are thinking, okay, cool, I can do up to $35,000. So I've met the 15 years. I've now met the 5-year rule of not having, not contributed. And it's money that's been contributed more than 5 years ago. Yep. So they're like, cool, I'll just move all $35,000 to the Roth. Hold on a second.
There's another
rule. And so ultimately it comes down to the max amount allowed for a person that year that you can convert. So if it's, this year, 2024, it's $7,000 if they're, under 59 or under 50.
Which we assume.
If you're 529, you're looking at 7,000. So that's first part of that. The second part of that 7,000 is they have to have working income that covers the contribution. So technically, think of it as a Roth IRA, and it's an actual contribution to a Roth IRA. So you have to make the money that you're putting into the Roth. So if they worked and made $7,000, cool, you can do the $7,000 conversion. But if they only made $5,000, you can only do $5,000 on the conversion.
Yep.
And this is working income. This isn't, mom and dad are saying, hey, we're going to pay you to do some chores around the house. This is like W-2, 1099 income that they have to prove to the government they have before that can be converted.
Now, okay, sadly, those are the rules, right? It's still an opportunity. So
Yeah.
you ever notice how the really wealthy people, like there's some tax law that we all knew, but somehow they got the best of it? I want you to start thinking that way. So this is what you can do, and those are the rules. Now, what's the strategy there? Like if you saw our Wine and Wealth that Eric did, he went through, like the strategy, the process. Let's just go through like the flow, right? Let's figure this out. So think that way. That's what we're helping clients with is like, all right, I get it. That's the rule. What can we do? For you in particular, you may be different than this person or this person, whatever, but really tear it apart. Get to understand the fine print and go, I'm getting the best of that rule for my effort. By the way,
You got to know where your dollars are going.
I thought when you said that a minute ago, I was like, 529s, I don't think they're that old. So I looked them up. Do you know when 529s started?
No.
I wouldn't guess this either. 1996.
96. Okay.
So they're going on 28 years old, and there's a 15-year rule, right? So you see what they did there. 1996.
Interesting.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, my favorite songwriter died.
I thought she just got drunk and they had to close the curtain.
Did you see that?
I don't know why, but I did.
Yeah, that was crazy. I actually watched the video. It was sad. It was sad to me. I just
If it
the
was
idea
one
that,
night and she got carried away, it's like, okay, lesson learned. If that's how she's living her life, yeah.
what's
I
the
feel
Grand Ole Opry, dude? You just don't.
that's your upper. Yeah,
You know, that's.
I get it.
It's not your concert. That's a big deal.
yeah.
No. So okay, back to it.
Anyways, yeah.
So my favorite songwriter died. Now he's decomposing.
Hey, that's pretty dark for you.
Yeah. I saw it and I was like, it's not bad. It's just kind of like, it can be fun. So
What's the difference between Iron Man and Iron Woman?
2024.
One is a superhero and the other is a command. Come on. What's the difference between Iron Man and Iron Woman?
Yeah, you had to give me the tone of that.
The tone is better.
Gosh,
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, somebody's gonna hate you for that.
No, that was a good one. All right, that's what it is.
That sounds like my granddad, but it is a joke. Like he used to like joke with my grandmother about things, but it was all in joking, and she got it, and they were on board together.
Yeah.
But in the end, like we knew my grandmother runs the house. Like,
Sure.
That's the dark facts.
They wear the pants.
Yeah.
I had this is no joke. I had a dream that you did your joke and I went to do mine, and it was so inappropriate that when Cody edited it, and he was still showing me, but he had played music over the top of it, so you couldn't hear me.
That's not a dream.
Just kind of no. I had the way it played out. When I woke up and thought about it, I'm like, I like that.